Welcome to the Blue Oasis Podcast. This is the podcast for finding peace and prosperity, learning the history of hobbies, as well as developing a little side hustle. If you want to find peace and prosperity in your life, this is your show. Get ready. You're listening to the Blue Oasis Podcast. I am your host, Adam Rothstein. All right, let's get to the show. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome back to the Blue Oasis Podcast. I am your host, Adam Rothstein, and I am with my cousin once again. How you doing, Joe?
I'm good, Adam. It's the day after Christmas. It's the sun is shining in New Jersey, and it's about like 50 degrees, so pretty good, pretty nice winter day overall, and just happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Music. You are a trombone artist, I would say, or is that just too much?
It could, it depends on your definition of an artist. I don't know if I use that term. I appreciate that. But I am a musician for sure.
Yeah. So tell the audience, when did you begin?
Okay. So my story began at the end of third grade, because fourth grade is when you learn how to play. You get to you pick an instrument. Some people pick choir. But I wanted to play an instrument. I think my mom kind of persuaded me to. She did when she was younger, as did her parents. So originally I actually signed up for the trumpet. And that was choice number one. And choice number two is the trombone. And the music teacher calls my mom over the summer, and he's like, we have a lot of trumpet players, as some might imagine. It's a pretty popular instrument. So he said, I saw that your son put down trombone as like a second. Would he be interested? And my mom said, well, yeah, we'll just make it. He just kind of put it down, trumpet, we'll make it easier on you. We'll get the trombone and that'll be what he plays. And then I picked it up. I got it. And I've had the same horn I've had since then. Had it my whole life. And yeah, and so that's kind of how that started.
Yeah, and I mean, I've definitely seen you play before, family reunions. That time back in 2019, when you graduated from college, you played at the house, and it was pretty good. So tell me, what does someone need to do to begin? Like, they're not in the third grade, but they're maybe in high school, or maybe going to high school, and they want to just pick up an instrument, even if it's for college or something, or they just want to do YouTube videos. What should they start with first?
Well, that's a great question. I mean, I was fortunate enough to be able to utilize the public education system to and I had some great teachers who you look back, you watch videos of fourth and fifth and sixth graders play now, and it's just like, it does not sound very good. When you're in fourth grade, you think it's the coolest thing you've ever done, and then you listen back later and like, that wasn't very good. So I have to commend those teachers who were like, they stick with the headaches. But there are a lot of resources. Anyone who I know my high school, they would offer like private lessons in place of like a study hall or a lunch. But kind of going into what you said about like YouTube videos, like there's a lot of resources out there for anyone who wants to get into it. Watching someone's YouTube videos, they might be well known enough where they possibly do private lessons. Maybe they have something on Patreon. And then, there's also a lot of college kids who are music majors who are dying to make an extra buck or two. It kind of helps them practice what they aspiring to professionally. So it's a great community because it is very encouraging in that aspect where it's like you just pick it up and try your best and then don't give it up. Yeah.
Yeah. And I know when you're trying to make an extra buck, like everyone now, like it's almost like a necessity that you need a side hustle to go anywhere. So my recommendation to anyone trying to be a musician is go on to United Masters, sign up there and let them take a 10% cut from your music when it's distributed, and then just begin. So you can actually, for those that do not know, because I've been working on this for a while, is that you could upload a track to United Masters and then it could be released within like a week or like 10 days. And then you can start an email list and then have people buy your song. I mean, I don't know if you're too familiar with United Masters, are you?
No. Is there anything else you'd like to let me know about it?
Anything else about it?
Yeah, that you haven't mentioned.
Yeah, you hook up your PayPal to it and it goes and the songs go on Apple Music, Spotify, SoundCloud, and YouTube. YouTube and TikTok, I think those are premium, but you can pay a little extra for those if you did ever want to get those on there as well. And I don't mean to cut us off so early, but I have to announce this. So, ladies and gentlemen of the audience, if you are interested in creating audio for yourself, whether that be a podcast, audio track, or just a nice meditation track or whatever, definitely check out my course. Link is in the show notes, and check out the audio mastery course. I go into song making, sound effects, a little bit of equipment, and as an added bonus, you'll get a picture audiobook course. That's how to make a picture audiobook mini course within the course. So you're getting 2 courses for the price of 1. So definitely check it out. I'll leave that and all the other information below in the show notes. Thank you. All right. Now that I've gotten my read done for the day, let's continue on. So,
all right.
So did you play any other instruments along with the trombone?
Not currently. Instruments are, it is kind of just like a side passion, if you will, and I make the most of it, but I'm not able to afford other instruments now. I have experience in some instruments that are similar to the trombone. One is like a euphonium, which is, it kind of makes the same sound, except the trombone is famous for the slide. This one has valves. But it's like the same range. So a lot of professional trombone players can double on either instrument. Not so much in like a jazz setting, but more of like a concert or orchestra setting. I also picked up the tuba, which is similar to the euphonium. The low brass family is they all kind of work. If I'd say if you know one, you can kind of learn the rest. A lot of saxophone players can play every type of saxophone. It's not exactly the same, but it's that same aspect. I know in the professional world, now I haven't gone this far at all, but I know in the professional world that you are kind of just expected to be able to play. If you're taking a trombone part, they are probably expected to play some euphonium parts, and you like have to be able to do those, and other stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I when I was a little younger, I mean, I never learned the instruments. Now, you would say that right now, I mean, I think that more kids should come up and learn an instrument and not just watch TikTok all day in their bedroom.
Yeah, I mean, you know, go out, maybe create some TikToks after you learn an instrument. That, I mean, I've seen a lot of really young, talented people doing solos or covers of popular songs. I love that stuff. But yeah, I think it's really, I think it I never wanted to pursue it as a profession, but I think that's because I didn't want to hate it. I really like it, and I think if everyone kind of had a little more music in their life, uh, kind of might make them appreciate a lot of things more. It definitely helped me. It's music's definitely helped me through life. Just like and when you have like not I'm again not a professional, but when you have like a deeper musical uh foundation than most people, it definitely helps like appreciate the songs that you like, or the songs you don't even know you like yet.
Yeah. Um, Now my father's a big fan of jazz. Um, and it's definitely like, I mean, there is a great appreciation to something even just as like Miles Davis with or Milestones. That
Mhm.
track, like that track was something that I grew up with. Um, and then there was Felonious Monk, which I learned about in the fourth grade. Speaking of jazz, that was something as well with that. So I never learned an instrument, just went straight to choir in fourth grade.
Yeah, as most kids do who aren't heavily invested. Um, yeah, I it's just I'm glad I've just been able to keep it in my life, and I was able to continue it for college in like a way that kind of fit my schedule. um and I'm even able to continue it now as I play in like a local orchestra that just meets once a week after work. It's very easy to stay involved, but I don't need to be like as involved as I was in high school, doing it like every day after school and on the weekends in just like so many different uh, you know, community, like, sub communities, different groups, classes, all that stuff.
Yeah. When you were in high school, you didn't take any days off. You didn't just like go straight home and just not go to practice. Or were there days when you wanted to take off that you didn't take off, or did you have any of those feelings?
Um, like I was being overworked.
Yeah.
No, there were some days where um, we'd have we'd in marching band we'd have a parade that morning, and then we'd have like uh like a show that night, or we'd uh you know you might have like multiple concerts in one day. Rare occasions. One time we had our jazz band, the high school jazz band goes to like the middle schools. And so, that's a fun day for us. We get to go and we get to play our hearts out, and we get to skip school and go to Cracker Barrel, which is pretty awesome. But one year we had outside of school, I was in like a ska band, and we had a battle of the bands like that night, and it was kind of cool because everyone that was in the band was on like the field trip, so we kind of just went through it together. But no, I was I was kind of competitive to make my presence known. Um, you know, high school is one big social ladder. So I'm trying to make an impression and just kind of be there every day. So you're just playing the game. But no, you wouldn't really find me taking any days off. I would miss a lot of things. Uh, not really. I didn't miss out much, but I would miss things because I had commitments. I committed myself to the musical things I was involved in.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, uh, now I definitely understand why someone would uh, not want to go every day. I mean, it can get exhausting,
Hmm.
but you manage to stick it out every day. Um, I couldn't even do that with track, and I wish I had just stuck it out a little more. Um, or my advice to anyone listening is stick with it a little longer and see where you turn out. You would agree with that, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there, I wouldn't even say that there was a point where I was the best trombone player in my school at all. Maybe like 1 year because we're like in like middle school, but like, how do you even measure that? We're all not very good. Wasn't really the best in high school or any of the things. I'm very rarely like first chair, but that doesn't make me want to not stick with it. There were probably times when I'm like, it gets competitive when you're involved in a lot of things and you're trying to get first seat, or you're trying to get a solo in a certain song, or you're just trying to make the cut. Um, but I've seen people make things 1 year, miss it the next, and come back the next year. Like there's no reason to get discouraged because there's a place for you somewhere.
And that's definitely something that we should all appreciate with
Yeah.
um yeah uh yeah so um yeah you um it's not now, have you ever played the piano by any chance?
That's funny. I can't get both hands to coordinate. I understand. I know where all the notes are. I can read music. I can read, you know, different keys, time signatures, all that. I can read the notes, and I just can't do them at the same time. So, I was never able to pick it up. But if someone was desperate for a piano player and they just needed someone to play a bunch of chords, I could do that.
Oh man, this probably the one thing I wish I'd learned. Um, now you now there were definitely ads, back in like the 30s and the 40s, like the first real ads where people wanted like to learn how to play piano, and many people still do, as well. Now, have you heard of Google Music or like create music? Geez, I totally should have had that up before
Um,
we.
do you know what it is? I don't.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Professional podcaster here, people. Create music. Something like something like that. Oh yeah, it's called Chrome Music Lab. Have you ever heard of it?
I think you were telling me about it the other day, but just kind of refresh me.
Yes. So this is where you can go in and make a short song. You can't make a full track, but you can create a little audio, sort of like a ringtone, and and it's definitely worth experimenting with, and just get a flow for rhythm as
Yeah.
well with that. Um, yeah. Also, when it comes to notes,
Hmm.
uh, yeah, you would say just start with the simple things, like two notes or
Um,
three notes.
well, I think the easiest, if you're trying to learn the notes, um, you know, if you want to learn where they are on, um, sheet music, there are guides for that. There's definitely some helpful internet videos. There's some mnemonics for how it's scaled up. If you're in treble clef, the 4 lines goes FACE, face, and then the 5 lines is EGBDF, which is every good boy deserves fudge. I don't write these, they just kind of teach you them in middle school. If you want to learn on the piano, that's another way to learn. I would also learn in the key of C. That's all the white notes. So, kind of makes it easier to fool around. Yeah. So if you're trying to learn, there's definitely, it could take a while, but the basics are not too complicated. It's kind of just memorization, building the foundation.
Yeah. Now I don't know much about the notes. Like there's like the A note, the B note, the C note, the D note, the G note, or and then there is like a D string or something.
Like flats and sharps.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's like um, that kind of can make it a half step between notes instead of a whole step. But it's kind of easier to visualize on the piano, because, as you go up, each increase is a extra half step, and that's where those, think of the sharps and flats as the black notes on the piano. That's the best way to visualize it.
Yeah. Don't know. Yeah, it's like I'm not the music expert
Right.
in the family. Like that's probably the one thing that I regret not doing most of. Should I learn the guitar when and and that's the thing is that like actually in the seventh grade, they did teach us a little bit of the guitar, but I should have just stuck. I kind of wish I stuck that out a little
Yeah.
more.
And if anyone's, can I like just drop random websites for people to check out?
Yeah,
Okay.
just yeah, you can email me those or as well, and I'll be sure to leave a link to those in the show notes.
Yeah, so for any, I'll say it now and I'll send it to you after. Or maybe you want to write down, I don't know, but anyone who's interested in learning about notes, I guess, again, not professional, not sure, always sure on the best way to describe it, but for those who want to maybe learn about like identifications or different key signatures or the distances between notes, how, how different intervals sound, the space, the jump or fall between two notes. You can just go to musictheory.net and there's lessons. It's all free. Lessons, exercises. I had to do it for a class in high school, but it's a very user-friendly software for anyone who's just trying to um, practice music in their life in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, and it's not like uh oh yeah. Also, Skillshare.com is definitely another one as well. I've definitely seen guitar instructional lessons, so you're bound to find trombone, saxophone, and trumpet lessons there um as well. Um, hmm. Wow, this has been a little short. Anything you want to continue on with?
Uh, any, hate to direct back to you. Any questions or just like specific, anything you can think about? Because I'm just not sure how to continue.
Oh, I mean, even though I don't think video games can play much of, it's not like they can do much of for musicians. With like Wii Music and Guitar Hero or Rock Band,
No, that's,
like, or is it
um,
just, it's just filler, right?
I would say, um, I'd say like a musician would have a better time. Maybe if you just put a bunch of musicians and non-musicians in a room as like a test, and none of them have ever played Guitar Hero or Rock Band, I would imagine that, um, someone who's really good at the guitar or drums might actually have like like a coordination advantage, that they might use in like video games. Nerds are all the same, band nerds, video game nerds, so they tend to they tend to flock together. But no, in all seriousness, that might not be it's fun, but it's definitely not the best resource if you're trying to become any form of classically trained in the art.
Yeah, and now I remember something. I mean, if you definitely want to put it out there, I mean, you can definitely create tracks as well. And you can actually record in your closet now. I mean, I've done that before. It is incredible. And actually, and I think you would be in agreement with this. Record in your closet, play back what you did, and don't stop until you finished your practice notes, and then play it back, and then just see how you did. So I would definitely recommend doing that as well, and then just come back to it. That's a good strategy, right?
Yeah. Applying that dedication aspect and holding yourself accountable is good. I don't always practice, but when I do, I try to apply a lot of the techniques that I've learned into not just sitting down and blowing air through the tube, but learning what you have, because you're practicing it for a reason. You want to learn it, and you don't just want to you want to make this the songs you need to perform like muscle memory, because then it for me, if I'm able to memorize a song, it's very ideal, because then I can spend more time focusing on matching those around me and following the conductor, rather than focus on playing the notes that I have to play and not working as a team.
Yeah. This is going to be the last episode after Christmas. Anything else you want to discuss before I end this recording here?
I mean, if anyone, I mean, there's just if anyone is, if this episode or anything I've said or that you've listened to is inspired you to pick up an instrument, or just kind of enhance your understandings of notes, or anything like that, like I said, the resources are there, and there somewhere near you is a community that's willing to help you. And if you don't, that's fine too. But I hope everyone has a chance to learn something about it. Yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, and regardless of that being audio editing, what I do, or music like what you do, just pick something up, learn from it, and see what you can do with any money, because that is what this podcast is about, finding hobbies that you love, to do side hustles that you will also love. So I guess that's going to conclude the episode. So shall I stop the recording one last time just to make sure?
Okay.
Stop it.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. All right. That'll do it, everyone. Stay safe. Stay great. I'll talk to you all
Have a great day.
in the next
Thanks,
episode,
Adam.
and Happy New Year.